Well, hello and welcome. So in this short little video, we're going to give you a new recipe. So if you've been doing your food prep and you're looking for something new to try, well, let's do it together. I'm going to try a new recipe. And along the way, I've got some of the ingredients here, and I'll talk a little bit about them, and we'll put it together and see how it turns out. So the recipe that I've got is an Asian coleslaw. And I found this in a book that I was reading the last couple of days, Wired to Eat by Robb Wolf. And Robb really has done an excellent job with this book so far, from what I can tell. Great references in here, and in the back he has a number of recipes. The idea of Wired to Eat is in the lines of personalized nutrition. Essentially, one size does not fit all, and he provides a good bit of information about how you can go about finding out what's going to work out well for you. Well, today, the recipe that I picked out was one that I plan to bring to an event as a potluck, and kind of excited to see how it goes. I've made like coleslaws before out of cabbage. This recipe, I'll post it so you'll be able to see. It's really straightforward. We're not going to spend a lot of time chopping and going through everything. We'll just sort of talk about the recipe, the food that I picked out tonight, and so on. It turned out that today was a rainy day and kind of cold and misty. And I was driving. I wanted to get, well, one of the things that I wanted, they didn't have at the local grocery store, so I figured I would go to David's Natural Food Market in near Gambrels and made the trek. Dark, rainy, took a while, a little bit of traffic, but made it there, and they were pretty well stocked, and they had everything that I needed, except one thing, which I'll talk about, no big deal. So when you make a coleslaw, I'm pretty sure what we're going to do is we're going to end up shredding this cabbage into, like coleslaw pieces, and we'll do some chopping here with the carrots. The nice thing about David's Natural Market is that all the produce that they have is organic produce and things like that. So I knew I was going to be getting really good produce, and I love these carrots. They were just so pretty. I had to get them versus the ones that are in the plastic bag, the ones I'm talking about. So I got those, and when you look at the produce and it's nice and fresh, you can tell that it actually isn't dried out, and it's a nice green color and things like that. So I know this is going to be super tasty. And when you really kind of think about it, when we talk about working with our nutrition clients and looking for a whole foods diet, we're not saying we have to go out and always buy organic food and things like that. We're just talking about buying natural, whole foods, things that are not processed foods. So of course that's when we look at something like Robb's book on Wired to Eat. Part of what we're really looking at is how our environment and how we gather or how we process food has changed very rapidly, much faster than what our own human genome could adapt to. So there are a lot of new innovations on the market, like wheat, which really is something that just came on the scene really over the last 1,000 years or so. And if you think about it, 1,000 years seems like a long time, but from a point of view of the human genome and who we are as DNA and all that good stuff, it's a pretty recent invention. Also, corn and the prevalence of corn in our diet and things like that. So, whole foods, we have things that you might find on the farm. We were going to be chopping this guy up, adding in the carrots and the scallions, And the ingredient that they did not have, and it makes sense, it was snow peas. I suppose I could have found frozen or something like that, but right now is it the winter? It's almost the winter. We're in December. You're not really going to find a lot of those springy kind of vegetables. So they didn't have the snow peas. So I decided to get some honey crisp apples instead, and I'm going to slice those up nice and crisp and add those into. I think that'll be nice. Okay, so that's the straightforward, easy part. All that's probably going to go in a big bowl. Chop that up. Part 2 is going to be the dressing, and there's a little bit of orange juice, and I was going to buy a bottle of orange juice, but I didn't really find it. Plus, I figured since I'll be making the video, if I had like a carton of orange juice or a plastic bottle of orange juice, that wasn't really going to be the sustainable option. So went with the oranges. I'll be squeezing these guys. Since these are navel oranges, they're probably not going to create a whole lot of juice, but who knows? We'll see. So I'll probably use a bowl like this. There's going to be a couple tablespoons of olive oil. I should check the recipe specifically on how much everything is, but there's going to be some rice wine vinegar in there as well. So, so far so good. Now this is an unusual thing that I probably wouldn't normally be cooking with. It's called MCT oil, and that stands for medium chain triglycerides. All that really means is it's essentially the part of, in this case, coconut oil that is the medium chain triglyceride versus the longer chains. And if you know coconut oil, it's usually a solid, but MCT oil is going to be a liquid. So it's saturated fats are stable fats, which means that they're going to be solid at room temperature. MCT oil is obviously not the saturated fat. I'll have to check into that. I don't know if that's true or not. I'm guessing. So that's MCT oil. So there's a couple tablespoons of that. The benefit of these two guys is the olive oil and the MCT oil is to have a healthy fat in the dressing. So we're not using canola oil, we're not using vegetable oil or corn oil or anything like that. We're just going to go with these healthy fats. Trivia, olive oil, avocado oil, and coconut oil are all oil that come from fruits. Okay, so now we're going to add a little bit of ginger. So we have some minced ginger, so I'll be adding that in. So now we have kind of an Asian flavor, but what's going to give it that soy flavoring that we really like a lot is going to be these coconut aminos. So coconut aminos are essentially the substitute for if you were to use soy sauce. Soy can contribute to some changes in hormones, so we're going to avoid the soy and go with coconut aminos. And that's going to make it paleo. We also have fish sauce. So I don't usually use fish sauce for cooking, but this is going to really bring out the flavor, and it's going to be so good. They had 2 bottles of fish sauce at the store, and the first bottle I picked up, first thing you do, you read the label, what's in it, and it had the anchovy, sea salt, and sugar. So I'm like, nope, that's not what we want. We can't be making a paleo dish and then add the fish fish sauce that has sugar in it. So I was like, oh, what am I going to do now? They don't have fish sauce. And then right next to it was this one, and this one is just the fish. So we're going to have really everything that we need to make this salad. I'll be letting you know in the comments how it turned out. And I'm going to add something else too. So I'm going to make all the salad, and I also have some chicken breast, which I'm going to is brining right now. It's basically a warm water salt bath that's going to help the chicken retain the moisture when I bake it. And then and I'll season it, and that will go on top of the salad. And I'll probably do something with ginger to season the chicken, because I think that would taste really good. So there you go. So the dish, when it's done, it'll have all these healthy carbohydrates in it. It'll have the healthy oils, and the pasture-raised chicken breast will be my healthy protein option. And I'm pretty sure it's going to be fairly balanced with protein, healthy fats, and healthy carbohydrates. So anyway, thank you guys so much. I really appreciate you checking in and tuning in. Maybe I'll see you soon. How about that?